Welcome to Radical Self-Respect with Jared Mello. It's been a little while since I've done a video from the car here, so I decided, why not? No better day than today. And I wanted to talk about first some of my mindset issues that I have. I have one big mindset problem that throughout my life has been a hindrance to my success. It's the flaw. And I don't really have too many mindset flaws, but this is one of them. And I want to be honest about it. So, from the time I was a kid, this flaw took the form of wanting one woman to come into my life and to make everything all better. It was like a one-itis, wanting my soulmate, but at the crux of this flaw, it was wanting this one thing to come by and change everything, and then make it all better from there. And that's like the form of having a woman in my life. That was the form it took for a long time. But let's make no mistake about it. This is lazy. This is lazy thinking, and it doesn't help us at all. It puts things off into the future. I'm reading a book right now by Aaron Clary called The Menu, and he talks about hope being one of the most destructive drugs. And I actually agree, because hope without action is indeed useless. There must be action. So, on this one mindset flaw, when it came with women, it was me just expecting things to be better at a later time. And then my life will start. And then things will be great. And then things will be everything I always wanted them to be. But while I'm thinking this way, I'm not valuing the present moment nearly as much as I should. And that transcends right into the current manifestation of my mindset flaw. And it is, when my net worth gets to a certain amount, everything will fall into place then. And again, it's a different version of the same flaw. And in this case, it's, well, when I get to that lump sum of money that I'm shooting for, which, I'm getting close, but I'm not there yet. When I get there, things will just fall into place. Everything will be better. And then it's like a mental block in my brain. It's a laziness block is really what it is. Because I can be very efficient and hardworking in many different areas of my life. At the gym, I'm addicted to the gym. When it comes to work and making money, yep, I'm all about doing that. But there's a couple things that I really struggle with. One is breaking out of my routines and starting a new system. I certainly struggle with that. Now, I slay the systems that I make once I'm actually in them. But the most difficult part for me is starting the new system, starting the new thing. I can have a big block about things that are unknown. And maybe it's a little bit a sensitivity to negative emotion, perhaps, but I build things up in my mind and then I don't get things done. So the other part of this thing is, there is no one event, that one catching moment when everything will be all better. That is fantasy thinking. And it's one of my biggest mindset flaws. And I still struggle with this to this day, if I'm honest with myself. Because what's the antidote to this thinking? The antidote is doing the work today, living in the now, carefully figuring out our plan. And so for me, in my flaw of thinking, when I get to this lump sum, everything will fall into place. But it's like, if I haven't done the work up until that point with YouTube or my coaching stuff or sales or political stuff or whatever else I'm trying to do, it's not going to be just a catch-all moment, the catching point, where everything changes from then. It's like, no, habits are what change things. Mindset's extremely important, and mindset's number one, but our daily habits and our systems and our routines, that's where our success and failure will be made. In that. And I admit it, I need to carefully write down more of specifically my plans and things I can be doing on a daily basis and a weekly basis, monthly basis, in order for me to get to my goals. And then another part of this is knowing when to try to start something different because something that we're doing isn't working. when they always say the definition of insanity is doing the same things and expecting different results. If nothing changes, nothing changes. So we have to learn when to actually kind of abort mission a little bit and to start down a new path. Because if we're getting nowhere, that's not going to be too good. Like, that's not going to help us out too much. So we got to know when to stop doing something that is not working. But this flaw that started with women, and then the current manifestation is when I get to a certain net worth, it is probably the single biggest hindrance in my life that I really need to get better with, where there is no catching point moment. And I think this comes down to my problems with fantasy. And fantasy is kind of like a distorted hope, I guess we'll call it. But it doesn't help me right now. Now, I do think like dreaming big can be humongous. But without a plan and without day-to-day footwork, it's just a dream. Right? That's all it is. But we need these things to be functional goals. And so these catching point moments, these turning point moments that I think to myself, then I'll live, then I'll do this, then I'll do that. It's like, no. Now. Now is what matters. The system of now matters. Our daily habits matter. There is no more time to waste. We got to just start living now. And that's like, I'm saying this because this is what I need to do better with. I fully recognize it. And it starts today. It starts with doing the tedious work. I'm not a fan of the tedious things. And it comes to thinking and planning. I'm not as good as that as I should be. Like, I can work my ass off in some ways. But when it comes to that thinking, planning area, and getting into the exact specifics of what I want things to do like, something about that kind of repulses me for some reason, and I enlarge it bigger than it really is. I turn the mountain into a molehill into a mountain, and I get frustrated. Like, when I'm in fantasy mode and I get to that, when this one thing happens, everything will be all better, it's lazy thinking. You don't have to think about it when you think of it like that. You just kind of go with it. And so I fully recognize this is something I need to do better with. So if you can relate to this video, please comment below on maybe your manifestation of this problem. If you can identify with it, if you can relate with it. Maybe share this video with someone else that you think may benefit. And if you liked the video, please like it. And if you have not subscribed already and you like stuff about radical self-respect, please do subscribe. So thank you very much for watching. Have a great rest of your day.